Hi everyone, welcome to story time today with me and Henry. Today I decided to read What If There Were No Bees? A book about the grassland ecosystem, and I thought it'd be a good book because we've been doing a lot of things with different plants, different science experiments with plants, so I thought it would be a good idea to do this. And also, I don't know if you guys heard about those killer bees like in Washington State. So, if you haven't, I think there's some really good YouTube videos on the killer bees. And I've personally watched it and am intrigued by them. So that's why I decided to do this book. So let's read it. It's What If There Were No Bees? A book about the grassland ecosystem by Suzanne Slade. Don't mind Henry, he's playing with a toy in the background. If you hear some squeaking, that is why. Don't be fooled by a bee's size. It's tiny compared to the foxes, skunks, and owls that share its grassland home. But bees do the work of giants. Bees spend countless hours darting from flower to flower to collect pollen and nectar. Grassland plants, animals, and insects are tied to one another by food chains. Bees, as well as other living things, belong to several chains. Many food chains are connected by one plant or animal to create larger food webs. So, let's see, where should we start? Should we start with the flower? Here's the bee, and then the bee goes to the wasp, to the skunk, and then the skunk goes to the owl. Or you could go from the bee to the spider, to the bird, to the fox, to the mouse. Oh, no, the honey. Honey, the mouse, the fox. So those two go. The bear goes to the honey. Or you could go do the toad, the snake, and the red-tailed hawk. Or the bee to the opossum to the owl. So it's critical. Did you know people are part of food chains too? We are at the top of many food chains. So that's that page. Flowers are a bee's best friend. They're often filled with a sweet liquid called nectar. Bees sip nectar to keep up their energy. Honeybees also use nectar to make honey. As bees collect nectar, tiny pieces of pollen stick to their furry legs. When bees visit other flowers, the pollen falls off. Flowering plants need pollen to create seeds and fruits. This process is called pollination. It's critical. Bees usually stay within 2 miles, 3.2 kilometers, of their hive. If they can't find enough nectar, some bees will travel up to 7 miles, 11.3 kilometers from home, or from their nest, their hive. As bees fly around to collect food, they face many dangers. Spiders, birds, toads, and other hungry predators hunt these hardworking insects. Pollution and some of the pesticides farmers use to protect their crops can also hurt bees. Mice often make unwelcome nests in honeybee boxes. While the mice aren't dangerous to the bees, they do damage the boxes and the bees' honeycomb. The smell of mouse droppings may cause bees to leave their hive for good. It's critical, and since 2006, more and more honeybee colonies are dying unexpectedly. Worried beekeepers aren't sure why so many colonies are disappearing. Some people believe bee diseases, pesticides, poor eating, and stress are harming bee health. What would happen if bees became extinct? If there were no bees, farmers near grasslands would have a lot of trouble growing crops. Farmers need bees, especially honeybees, to help pollinate their fruit and nut trees. Apple, cherry, plum, and avocado trees would produce less fruit or none at all without bees. Almond and macadamia trees would produce less too. It's critical. Sometimes a plant or animal species is so important that without it, many other species would become extinct. It's called a keystone species. Bees are a keystone species. Keystone species help make sure an ecosystem has many types of life in it. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. Fields of strawberry plants wouldn't be able to produce fruit. Neither would blueberry plants. Without bees, there would be fewer carrots, onions, and other vegetables. Bees are major pollinators of many fruit and vegetable crops. It's critical. Honeybees pollinate about 90 different crops in North America. They help create about 1/3 of the food we eat. Some farmers hire beekeepers to bring hives of bees to pollinate their fields. The bees stay a few weeks, then they are moved to another field. Wow, that's really cool. Grassland wildflowers and other plants couldn't make seeds without bees. Flowering bushes in nearby forests couldn't grow berries for birds. Soon, many mice, squirrels, and other small animals would not have enough food to survive. It's critical. With fewer small animals, larger animals would be in trouble too. Foxes, owls, and other meat eaters would have a tougher time finding food. Honeybees make honey from the nectar they collect. Bears, skunks, mice, and ants love the sweet honey. It's an important food source for them. Without honey, these animals and many others would suffer. I know, I love honey. I put it in my yogurt or I put it in my tea. It's so, so, so good. It's critical. About 1/5 of a black bear's diet comes from honey, plus the fruits, nuts, and berries pollinated by bees. Without bees, black bears would be forced to move to new areas in search of food. Without bees, grasslands and nearby farms and forests would become quieter, less colorful places. Fewer truckloads of fresh fruits and vegetables. No flowering plants blanketing the wide open fields. No bright berries or crunchy seeds for the forest animals to eat. What would happen if bees became extinct? All kinds of things. The loss of one small creature, even as small as the bee, can have a huge effect on the ecosystems of our world. Today, scientists are studying bees closely to learn how to keep them safe and healthy. Farmers are finding new ways to control pests. All this hard work would mean more bees buzzing around in the future. And you can see the grasslands are yellow. So you can see North America has some grasslands. South America has a lot. Africa has a lot. So does Asia. Europe has a little bit. And then Australia has quite a few. Note, bees live on every continent in the world, except Antarctica. And they live in all kinds of ecosystems, including desert, tundra, and forest. This book focuses on bees in the grassland ecosystem. And that is it. I hope you enjoyed the story about bees. I know I learned a couple new things, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.